The data still takes an hour to come out, as you know. So let's wait for the final figures. Sometimes there are booths. I saw a few booths where there was a line outside the booth until 6 p.m. So obviously the Election Commission allows people to vote and complete their voting if there's a line after 6 p.m.
Mr. Deora,
so I think let's wait for the final figures to come out. I think by around 7:30 p.m., 8 p.m. is when we'll know the final figures for Worli, for
okay.
Mumbai,
Rahul, just bear with me for a
Maharashtra.
second. Just one second. Hold your question.
Yeah.
Milanji, we've got 3 numbers as of now from the pollsters. Chanakya Strategies number is also out. All 3 of them in varying ranges are giving the government to the Mahayuti. Perhaps PMark is the most conservative, which says about 137 to 157. We've got Matriz, which is saying that it is again 150 to 170. And we've also got now Chanakya Strategies, which is again saying 150 to 160. Are you happy with these projections? Do they surprise you? Just your thoughts on the numbers, and then Rahul will take the next question. Ji.
Yeah, no, they don't surprise me. I have to be very honest and candid with you. I have a consistent track record for a politician on this issue. That I'm not a big believer in exit polls. So I take them with a pinch of salt personally. But of course, if it's encouraging and it's positive, then one would be happy.
We're taking
but
them,
in general, I think beyond
just
the
for the
polls,
record, we're taking them with a quintal of salt, no longer a pinch of salt. So just as a just to put it on the record there, these are not our, first of all, viewers, these are not our exit poll projections. We are being parasitical here. We are taking them from other channels and relaying them to you. But one second, Mr. Deora, I just wanted to ask you this question. It's interesting. So you are obviously looking at the turnout as something that might advantage you. Number one, why do you think turnout would advantage you? Number one. Number two, do you believe you would be the giant killer of this election? Because if you were to win, it would be national headlines. This really is, and would tell the story. Because look, I mean, let's suspend belief and accept these numbers. This would suggest that there is a big pro-incumbency in your favor, or at least in the Mahayuti's favor.
I think, look, regardless of whether turnout is high or low, I think that there was a positive feeling towards wanting to get Mahayuti back into power. The Chief Minister certainly enjoys a lot of personal popularity. For me personally, I have a relationship with this constituency, with the larger South Mumbai constituency. I may not be a Worlikar in the sense my voting doesn't happen in Worli. So you can say for the assembly point of view, I'm not a local, but I live obviously very close by. But my relationship with this constituency really goes back 55, 58 years. And my late father first fought a municipal corporation seat in 1968 from Chandanwadi, an area in South Mumbai. And since then, from 1980, in fact, he's been fighting, our family has been fighting 11 non-stop Lok Sabha elections. The 2024 Lok Sabha was the first time we didn't fight. There was a 12th Lok Sabha election which we didn't fight. Otherwise, we fought 11 elections consecutively. So the relationship with this constituency really transcends power. If I win, what will the media call me? That I leave that to you. But for me, really, even as a Rajya Sabha MP, I will continue to represent people to the best of my abilities. Even a Rajya Sabha MP, in my opinion, has local powers. And of course, there's a huge difference between a Rajya Sabha MP and even a Lok Sabha MP. But I really believe that even a Rajya Sabha MP who does technically represent the entire state has the power to serve the people of a local assembly area like Worli. So I'm very confident that regardless of the result, I will continue to build and maintain ties with the people of Worli.
Milind, let me put you in a spot. So if you win in Worli and become MLA elect, which of the two would you give up? Would you give up your Rajya Sabha seat or would you give up your MLA seat?
I honestly, that's a discussion I'll have within the party. But as I said, that these are things. These things happen so fast. One doesn't have time to go into what if this happens and that happens. You don't really play out these scenarios or apply your mind in terms of a decision matrix. But as I said, to me, state politics, central politics, Lok Sabha MP, Rajya Sabha MP, no power at all. The things for me remain the same. My relationship with this constituency remains the same. I wasn't holding public office for a long time. I continue to have a very good relationship with the people of South Mumbai, of which Worli is a part.
All right.
So as I said, this relationship is something which transcends politics. And I'm one of those politicians, which I think there are very few in India, who live in the area where you fight elections from. A lot of people live in one particular area, then they take a train or a plane to another part of the country and then fight elections from there. What happens in South Mumbai affects me directly, the good and the bad. So I feel very passionate about that, and I feel very happy that I'm part of this community and this constituency.
What is the confidence level? Let me ask you again, personally, and also all across for Worli and also for all across Maharashtra. I know you're trying to be balanced. I know you don't believe in exit polls, but I'm sure there would have been an internal assessment done. Do the exit polls reflect the kind of confidence that
confidence is good, high, not overconfident. I certainly believe what I've seen. There was certainly the kind of campaign that the alliance ran in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections just 6 months ago is, I mean, fundamentally different from the campaign that we ran in the Vidhan Sabha elections. Far more aggressive, far more consistent in our strategy, far more united, far better coordination between all allies. And that's largely because of a state election versus a central election. Central election, you also dependent on the larger national mood, although Maharashtra did have a different mood as compared to what the national mood was. And one can say perhaps we could have localized the Lok Sabha election campaign as well. But in the Vidhan Sabha election, you have the opportunity to do that. You focus on local issues. You also divide Maharashtra based on regions. You have a different campaign for Mumbai. You have a different campaign for Vidarbha. And I think every box was ticked by the alliance partners in this election.
Well, you will not be allowed to be just a Rajya Sabha MP or just an MLA from Worli when the results happen on 23rd, Milinji. You know it very, very well. But we will take those questions and on result day. 23rd, Saturday evening, we would need your time, and I'm securing it live on air.
What happens
you have to
in
join
Worli
us
will not stay in Worli. If he wins, what happens in Worli will not stay in Worli.
Will not stay in Worli.
It will be national news.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All the very, very best to you.
Please don't compare Worli to Las Vegas.
Well, it's going upwards, isn't it? It's quite glitzy.
Thank you so much. Let's quickly tell you, there is a bypoll happening in Uttar Pradesh. 9 seats. We've got a JVC prediction for the bypolls in Uttar Pradesh, and the numbers are saying 6 and 3. 6 for Yogi Adityanath and the BJP, and that's the JVC bypolls. 3 for Samajwadi Party. So it's 6 and 3. 6 and 3. There is also a prediction that's coming from Z. Z News is actually using AI and social media conversation and chatter. That's what they are doing. And their number is closer to a 50-50 or a 60-40. 5 and 4 is the number for assembly bypolls. Matriz has also projected the assembly bypolls, and will that then shift the narrative in Uttar Pradesh? We'll have to see how much it affects. Matriz is coming out and looking at these 9 seats and saying 7 and 2. So overall, it means that an aggregate of 6 seats out of 9 will go to the BJP plus, and of course, the Samajwadi Party will have about 3. That's what it looks like as of now. If you look at these 3 predictors, projectors, Uttar Pradesh ki agar baat kare, how important are these assembly bypolls? Because Akhilesh has been trying to stitch a narrative that Lok Sabha ke baad he's on the up and Yogi Adityanath is on the way down. But these bypolls, will they then change the whole thing?
This is very important, this election, as a barometer of what happens really in the Hindi belt, in the cow belt, so to speak. And Mr. Yogi Adityanath would want to at least appear to have consolidated after the reversals, which really cost the NDA its majority.
No, and Akhilesh has been quite brazen because today he said that Delhi bhi khilaf hai, Deputy bhi khilaf hai.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. So there is this internal dimension. I don't know how much that has played up, if those issues have been resolved, but for Yogi Adityanath to also project himself later on, or for the party to think that he is, remember, he's sent across the length and breadth of the country as the star campaigner after Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah.
Okay.
Let's not forget.
Okay.
So that will depend a lot. But there is a poll that is being put out where the Maharashtra number seems to be 48% the vote share. Which one is that? Because
no,
that
we'll call out Maharashtra in just a bit. Quick word on Uttar Pradesh. Will this set the tone, narrative? Will Yogi Adityanath tell everybody to pipe down Rashid Kidwai?
I think Anand, we must remember these are
अगर
bypolls.
6-3 का आंकड़ा होता तो फिर क्या
No,
कहेंगे?
no. I think we must remember these are bypolls, so they cannot be by any stretch of imagination can be really, quantified in a very big manner. Of course, if these numbers hold true, it will be a personal.
No, had it been 6 for Samajwadi Party and 3 for BJP, would you have said the same thing?
No, yes, because most seats that are going to polls are were held by Samajwadi Party. So therefore, it's a setback for Samajwadi Party if that happens, and it's a kind of personal glory moment of personal glory for Yogi Adityanath, but nothing more and nothing less.
तो ना दिल्ली चाहिए ना डिप्टी चाहिए, मैं अकेला ही काफी हूँ. Will Yogi Adityanath say like something like that to Akhilesh Yadav? If these projections hold, if these hold, big if.
Anand, you must remember there are 400 seats in Uttar Pradesh, and we are going to judge, the politics of it by 9 by-elections.
माहौल बनाने के लिए 9 सीट काफी है, वो बहुत लोग जानते हैं, आप भी जानते हैं. माहौल बनाने के लिए 9 सीट काफी है.
ठीक है.
जी. Then we go back to Maharashtra after this.
No, I want to make a point on the by-elections. If these numbers hold, they are significant. Simply because there was a complete change of direction in UP 3 months ago. Right? The momentum shifted. The UP is at the heart of the BJP's dominance in Indian politics.
Correct.
UP goes, everything goes.
Correct.
So in UP, there was a complete turnaround, and Samajwadi Party became the dominant party there. So if you're getting a majority in 11 seats, of course I take the point Rashid is making that this is 11 and not 400, but still they are an indicator of momentum.
देखिए, 2 बड़ी सीटें थी, 2 बड़े states थे, UP and Maharashtra, who returned the maximum
seats. So if you take
seats
it together
to
with
the Lok Sabha,
Haryana
1 and 2,
and these exit poll numbers, if these numbers hold, then it seems that then these numbers would seem to indicate that the BJP has pulled back a lot of lost ground.
I'm always going to say if
Big
this
number
happens.
coming out.
Huh?
Jharkhand is going the other way according to Axis.
We'll put out the access numbers as they come. Let's go back to Maharashtra. We'll go back to Maharashtra now. Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of the BJP. Now, cephalogist turned spokesperson is with us from the BJP, and a musician turned spokesperson is with us, who's been also seeing a lot of changes happen within the NCP. Between June and November, what's happening? The exit pollsters are not giving Maharashtra to the Mahavikas Agadi so far. Clyde Crasto.
Well, like I said, I haven't seen it. Please tell me if you see the numbers. I've been on air and the other channel didn't.
Well, 154 is the average poll of polls so far for the NDA. INDI alliance is about 130. So this is a reversal of the Lok Sabha projections. Assembly leads, but say the Lok Sabha. And if I remember Indian Express saying that the MVA has 145 seats at that time. Abhi aap करीब 15-20 seat minus चल रहे हैं. Our projections here, Zaka was putting it on the wall. It said you would have had 154 seats had the results held based on the assembly leads in June 2024. But November ye ulta hota hua dikh raha hai. Chanakya has actually given 160 seats at the higher end to the NDA. There is also PMark, which is given 157 seats at the higher end. And there is today's Chanakya also, which is given the higher number. Chanakya Strategies, beg your pardon. Chanakya Strategies, which is also given the higher number of 170 to the NDA. The MVA is forming government only if the NDA does poorly, but all of them have said that the MVA is a poorer or is coming second in this race. Now, how would you take that?
Well, it's an exit poll. It's in front of you. I mean, I can't say this is wrong or right now. It's an exit poll. People have decided. They voted. Whatever comes out will come out on the 23rd. Haryana happened. After Haryana happened, anything can happen. So, let's take it.
Rashid Kidwai says MVA का internal number 170 है. खासकर दिल्ली में.
No. So Haryana can happen anytime. Zaka and I are laughing today. The other day, Zaka and I went for each other. Zaka had no offense meant. I don't mean that.
No, none taken and no offense meant from my side.
But you know what? After seeing Haryana, Anand is a friend. Anand, we spoke about this. After seeing Haryana, I was like, कुछ भी मुमकिन है. I mean, I'm not going to say मोदी है तो मुमकिन है, but लेकिन कुछ भी मुमकिन है.
नहीं, पर आपके यहाँ तो शरद पवार है तो मुमकिन है is the belief. तो क्या मुमकिन है?
मतलब मुमकिन यही, तो अगर मैं कहूँ कि मुमकिन यही है कि महाविकास आघाड़ी की सरकार आ रही तो आप लोग हंस लेंगे, तो ठीक है. आज
हम नहीं हंसेंगे, हम तो पूछ रहे हैं सर, because everybody says 50-50, तो आप भी 50-50 कह रहे हैं.
Heart, Mr. Crasto, take heart, because if this is wrong, as most of the exit polls are, then you're winning. That's what it should be. You should take heart. You should actually say, I welcome these.
No, so Rahul, to have a serious note, I'm a sportsman. I'm a sportsman. I take win and defeat both in the simple way that, if I lose, I work hard, and if I win, I work even harder. So I don't get into all that, But the point here is, on a serious note, I'm someone who's, completely connected to the grassroots, okay? And what I'm getting here, the sense that I'm getting here, it's a tight game. It could be anywhere. It will all depend on what the people have thought today when they went into vote. You know, all the talk, all the jargon, all the rhetoric is over right now. It is very tight. You know, your exit polls
So if it is
say
so
NDA,
tight, let me ask you, if it is so tight, will you stay tight with your allies, or will there be fluidity? As the Chief Justice
No,
said, everything
absolutely
is
not.
fluid now.
No, I'll tell you something. No, you know, we have stuck together. We are together as Mahavikas Agadi. We'll go to the finish line together. There's absolutely
No,
going to
it
be
is.
nothing.
He is asking about what will happen post the finish line.
No, but
Post the
together
finish
with
line.
whom?
मैं
Together
समझ
with
गया मेरे भाई. Rahul की बात निशाना कहाँ लगा रहा है? Understood. After the finish line also we'll go together, because I'll tell you, we are doing well. And while I said we are together and you know it's 50-50, I still feel we have the edge. And because I'm telling from talking to people, so I'm not a cephalologist, and I don't do sample surveys, but from the ground reality, talking to the people, actual voters, it's 50-50, but we have an edge, and let's see what happens on the 23rd.
Right. But I think we've got Babulal Marandi ji who's joining us. Babulal Marandi ji, नमस्ते. आनंद बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ पर. मेरे साथ जाका और राहुल भी हैं. अभी तक जो रुझान दिखा रहे हैं एग्जिट पोल्स बता रहे हैं कि एनडीए की सरकार झारखंड में कंफर्टेबली बन रही है. आपका क्या अनुमान है आज जो 38 सीटों की पोलिंग हुई है और 43 सीटें फेज 1 में जो हुई हैं?
नहीं, अभी तक जो हम सब लोगों ने अपने कार्यकर्ता से और अन्य भी एजेंसियों से जो हम लोगों ने सर्वे कराए हैं, तो मैं कह सकता हूं कि इस बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी और एनडीए गठबंधन की सरकार बनने जा रही है और 51+ सीटें एनडीए गठबंधन को आएगी.
ये तो भारी बहुमत की बात हो गई. क्या क्या फैक्टर्स हैं, किस वजह से आपको लग रहा है कि इतना बड़ा नंबर आपको आएगा 51+?
नहीं, फैक्टर तो कई एक होते हैं, कोई एक फैक्टर नहीं होता है. एक तो यहाँ का डेमोग्राफी का मामला है और संथाल परगना के बड़ा हिस्सा को बुरी तरह से प्रभावित कर रहा था. फिर राज्य में जो व्याप्त करप्शन है, भ्रष्टाचार है,
जी,
ऊपर लेवल पर भी और नीचे लेवल पर भी, जहाँ आम लोगों की जुड़ा होता है, थाना, ब्लॉक, अंचल, और बड़े बड़े भ्रष्टाचार की तो आप सब लोगों ने नोटों की पहाड़ को भी लोगों ने देखा
जी.
और फिर पूरे 5 वर्षों में जो कानून व्यवस्था भी बिगड़ा हुआ था और फिर डेवलपमेंट का काम रुका हुआ. तो ये लोगों को लगता है कि भाई ये व्यक्ति काम किया नहीं, कमाने में लग गए, और सब लोग इनसे दुखी थे. नौजवान भी दुखी थे, जिन्हें नौकरी तो दिया नहीं लेकिन नौकरी के नाम पर मौत दिए. जितने भी एग्जाम हुए सभी एग्जाम में पेपर लीक हुआ. बच्चे सड़क से लेकर के हाई कोर्ट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक दौड़ लगाते रहे, लेकिन कोई कहीं सुनने वाला नहीं था. तो ये बच्चे, नौजवान भी नाराज थे, महिलाएं भी नाराज थी, आम जो आवाम है सारे लोग दुखी थे इस सरकार से. तो कुल मिलाकर के मैंने कहा कि कोई एक मुद्दा नहीं होते हैं, कई एक ये जो 4-5 ऐसे इशू हैं, इन सारे मुद्दों को मिलाकर सरकार को विदा करने की ही सब
लोकसभा से लेकर विधानसभा तक कुछ वहां पर ग्राउंड पर चेंज हुआ है, कुछ अलग किया है बीजेपी ने, एनडीए ने?
नहीं, लोकसभा चुनाव में चूंकि पूरा देश में चुनाव होता है तो एक हमारे नेताओं को भी इतना पर्याप्त समय नहीं मिल पाता है. और इस बार जैसे विधानसभा के चुनाव थी तो हम लोग तो चुनाव काम में कुछ लड़ रहे थे, कुछ लड़ा रहे थे, लेकिन केंद्र की ओर से भी जैसे शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी भारत सरकार के कृषि मंत्री, असम के मुख्यमंत्री श्री हेमंता विश्व शर्मा जी, प्रभारी डॉक्टर लक्ष्मीकांत वाजपेयी जी, तो इन लोगों ने काफी समय दिया, और खास करके असम के और मुख्यमंत्री और कृषि मंत्री.
मरांडी साहब,
जिसको कह सकते हैं जब से
आया है
दोनों को
हमारे
समय
सामने,
मिला तो सुबह यहाँ तो शाम दिल्ली, शाम गुवाहाटी.
जी,
एक रुझान आया है हमारे सामने, जो एक रुझान आया है हमारे सामने जो एक्सिस का है, एक्सिस माई इंडिया, आपने नाम सुना होगा ये पोस्टर का. ये कुछ और बता रहे हैं. ये बता रहे हैं कि जो एग्जिट पोल है उसमें आपकी जीत नहीं मगर जेएमएम कांग्रेस की जीत होगी. तो आप कुछ और बता रहे हैं, ये पोस्टर कुछ और बता रहे हैं, और इनका रिकॉर्ड काफी ठीक भी है. ऐसा नहीं है कि 1-2 इलेक्शन जो सबसे मेजर इलेक्शन है उस पे तो उनके चौपट हो गया, मगर उसके अलावा इधर उधर उन्होंने ठीक किया है. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि एकदम उनको आज की डेट में राइट ऑफ कर सकते हैं, बट मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूं कि
नहीं, मैं किसी
जो
को
नंबर
write up
आपने
नहीं करता
बताया
हूं, क्योंकि
उसका मतलब यह है कि बीजेपी को भी बहुत
देखिए
उन्नति
हर
हुई
कोई
है,
अपना
प्रगति
एक
हुई है
अनुमान
उनकी।
बताते हैं। हम तो अपने कार्यकर्ताओं के
हम्म,
काम के आधार पर मैं बताता हूँ, क्षेत्र की परिस्थितियों को, जिस प्रकार से, जो कि प्रत्येक चुनाव हम सब लोग लड़ते हैं तो एक प्रकार से एक अनुभव हो जाता है, कहाँ हम जीत रहे हैं, कहाँ हम हार रहे हैं, कहाँ हमारी क्या पोजीशन रहेगी, कैसे रहेगी। तो मैं कह सकता हूँ कि इस बार जो जनता में भी उत्साह थी, कार्यकर्ता में भी जो उत्साह था, तो कुल मिलाकर के और सरकार के प्रति जो निराशा, तो वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी और एनडीए गठबंधन के पक्ष में वो जा रहा था सब कुछ।
बाबूलाल मरांडी जी, संगठन को कैसे आपने ठीक किया, क्योंकि कहा जा रहा था कि झारखंड का बीजेपी संगठन में भी थोड़ा सा कलह है, अंतर कलह है, क्या उसको भी आपने कुछ ठीक किया है? और अगर ये नतीजे ठहरते हैं तो 23 तारीख के बाद आपकी भूमिका क्या होगी?
कंप्लीट उस तरफ
हम तो संगठन में प्रदेश अध्यक्ष हैं और अध्यक्ष होने के नाते हम चाहेंगे कि झारखंड में बीजेपी के नेतृत्व में सरकार बने। उसी के लिए हम सब ने मेहनत किया है, परिश्रम किया है।
संगठन से सरकार की ओर रुख करने के कोई आसार दिख रहे हैं?
नहीं, हमारा कोई वैसा नहीं रहता है कि मैं तो पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता होने के नाते
जी
हम चाहेंगे कि झारखंड से जो करप्शन जाए,
जी,
झारखंड में जो यहाँ गरीबी है, पिछड़ापन है, बेरोजगारी है, ये सारी चीजें यहाँ से दूर हो।
जी,
हमारा फोकस इस पर है, कौन मुख्यमंत्री बनता है कि ये कोई हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ा इशू नहीं है, ये कोई बहुत बड़ा मामला नहीं बनता है ये।
जी जी, भारी बहुमत से अगर आपकी जीत होती है तो फिर आपकी दावेदारी प्रबल होगी, क्योंकि संगठन के अध्यक्ष आप हैं, प्रदेश कांग्रेस प्रदेश भाई बीजेपी के, तो प्रदेश अध्यक्ष आप हैं। आपको बहुत बहुत ऑल द बेस्ट मैं कहूंगा और धन्यवाद भी कहूंगा कि आप अब इस वक्त जुड़े। पर एक वादा आपसे लूंगा कि 23 तारीख को भी आप हमें समय देंगे यहाँ पर नतीजे आने के बाद।
चलो जरूर मिलेंगे आप सब लोगों से।
धन्यवाद, थैंक यू वेरी मच बाबूलाल मरांडी जी। Let's swing back to Maharashtra, ladies and gentlemen. Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of the BJP with us. Axis My India numbers are being put out. Some other numbers have also come in. Overall, the mandate seems to be heavily in favor of the NDA. Pradeep Bhandari, are you still doing a bit of psephology? You had some indications on Haryana. Early exit pollsters going to get it right or wrong this time? Or are you a little worried कि हरियाणा में कांग्रेस को जिता रहे थे एग्जिट पोल्स, कुछ और हुआ, अब यहाँ पर एग्जिट पोलस्टर्स एनडीए को जिता रहे हैं, कुछ और ना हो जाए?
Anand ji, good evening to your viewers and good evening to you, Zak and Rahul. Well, what I can for sure tell you, Anand ji, that we are forming the government in Maharashtra with a comfortable majority. Also, we are forming the government in Jharkhand, and in Uttar Pradesh, we intend to gain more than 60% seats. And it is very simple. Point number one, in Maharashtra, if you look and study the election in detail, our vote share, even in 2020-24, when we performed a bit not as per our expectation, the vote share remained intact at more than 25%. And we were only 2 lakh votes less than the Mahavinash Aghadi. So overall, we've improved and we've done the correction like we did in Haryana. And there are 2 crore women who benefited from Ladki Behna, which according to me will be the swing factor along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's welfare. So do not be surprised if the exit poll expectations on Maharashtra is an underestimation. And like in Madhya Pradesh 2023, if you recall, the final results surpassed everybody's expectation. But what I can tell you that the trend is fine according to what I'm reading from the ground. In Jharkhand, if you, I somehow disagree with the exit poll, one of the exit poll which is saying that it will be the India Alliance government which will be formed in Jharkhand, for a very simple reason, that even in 2019 and 2014, in both these state elections, our vote share was more than 30%. It was only some specific seats which we could not win in the 2019. That is where the JMM could have a certain seats more than us. This time we have an alliance. And with an alliance, we have performed fairer like it in 2014. So we are confident in Jharkhand. What is just 10 seconds I will take. What is important to look at in Uttar Pradesh is, because all these seats, I disagree with Rashid, he was saying 9 seats से क्या होगा? होगा, क्योंकि पिछली बार हमारी 3 सीटें ही आई थी और इन सभी सीटों के ऊपर दलित जो है वो 50,000 रफली मार्जिन में आते हैं और अगर हम 6 या 6 से ज्यादा सीटें जीतते हैं तो इससे यह आप निष्कर्ष निकाल सकते हैं, you can make that conclusion, Rashid ji, that the Dalits in Uttar Pradesh are with the Bharatiya Janata Party. If you can make a mahol with 90 seats and losing for the third consecutive time as an opposition, I believe that if we win with double our seats in Uttar Pradesh, because last time we got 3, we definitely have the right to say that the people of Uttar Pradesh, in particular the
Rashid
Dalits,
Kidwai was not making the mahol. I just said कि 9 सीट से भी माहौल बन सकता है जैसे 99 से बना था.
नहीं, not Rashid ji, नहीं, मतलब generally opposition. Not Rashid, nothing to Rashid.
So let me just go across to Dr. Bhalchandra Mungekar, author and former MP. He should be joining us. We also have Chetan Bhagat joining us. Namaste, Chetan ji. And we also have Sajid Supariwala, leader of the UBT. He just put his hand up. Namaste. So please, Sajid, let's start with you. You had your hand up on the projection so far. I know Rashid Kidwai said that the Congress in Delhi, their internal projection is that the MVA is getting about 170 seats. What is your thought process?
Is the BJP spokesperson's middle name enthusiastic by any chance? Over enthusiastic? Because I'm seeing that he's refusing the exit polls in Jharkhand, but he's accepting there is a exit polls of Maharashtra.
Okay,
that also
sorry to interrupt you. Just one correction.
See, exit polls are just exit polls.
No, only one exit pollster has given an adverse number in Jharkhand, which he refuted. 3 of the exit pollsters have given the mandate to the NDA. Yeah, please carry on.
Can I continue? I think his middle name is definitely over enthusiastic BJP, but Bharatiya Jumla Party, not Bharatiya Janata Party. The thing is that we are very confident. I am a person who stays on the ground in Mumbai and Maharashtra. I know what is going on the ground. Anywhere I went, all the polling booth centers where we have to take the survey, I found that every person, whoever it might be of caste, creed or religion, they all were saying we are tired of the Bharatiya Jumla Party and the Minde government in Maharashtra. We want our jobs back to Maharashtra. We want our rights back to Maharashtra from Gujarat and other states. And we will vote only for the parties who are in interest of Maharashtra. Secondly, I saw everybody without me even trying to ask them whom you're voting. In the places where Mashal was there, they were saying we are voting for Mashal. We don't need your clarification for the symbols. And other places also, they knew the symbols by heart. So they loved the Mahavikas Aghadi Sarkar by heart. Lok Sabha, they have been shown the door. They needed 2 pillars in the form of Chandrababu Naidu and that Nitish Kumar. Now here I don't know what they will want for. Now we 3 and other allies of ours are totally prepared to make a CM out of our Mahavikas Aghadi. Right. These exit polls are already showing cut to cut. Let the real results come, then you will know.
What's your understanding? What's your understanding? Yeah? Is it going to be cut to cut, or do you believe that the MBA will have a clear mandate?
No, in fact, I am looking at a place where I think we will be more than 25% to 30% more than what they are even thinking about.
Okay, so you believe that it will be runaway victory more than 170 seats,
definitely,
which is quite unprecedented in the Maharashtra scenario.
But
even now.
If it was such a cakewalk, why did it take so much time for you to finalize your seats? Why did we see Sharad Pawar having to step in and dictate the terms? There seemed to be hang on. And secondly, how is backing clerics who call for all sorts of, according to the BJP, all sorts of jihad against India, etc., in the interest of Maharashtra?
We have seen no jihad. We have seen dharm jihad. We have seen a lot of jihad from these people as well. There is the form of jihad that they are showing. They are hitting people on the roads.
No one is, corruption. Look, I mean,
there was a no jihad.
Hang on. One second.
The government was found with 2 crores of cash.
Which 2 crores? Where?
And even we were having discussions.
No, where is the 2 crores?
Okay.
In the government, I'll show you the report. It is with me.
Right. The point is, no. There are claims which are made. There is no evidence. What Chetan Bhagat, and then we'll also have Shaina NC joining us. Yes, Chetan Bhagat.
Hi guys, hello. Very excited to be here. with this great panel. And exit polls, I don't know what to do with exit polls these days. They are more for fun. I think we all admit that they've been wrong many, many times. But, you know, we are here to make the most of them. So there's no point just saying they mean nothing. A couple of things. You know, I think when there is a close race, or if there is a race with an edge to BJP, what often happens? BJP only makes the government, right? Whether if it's close and a close plus, then the BJP makes the government, right? So I think the BJP, and especially in this kind of case where you have several parties, it's not just one versus the other.
Right.
It is 6-7 parties, lots of Lego blocks to play with. So, and guess who's the best Lego player in town? It's the Saffron Party, and they will basically come with the now let's figure out why this might have happened. We will know more on Saturday, of course.
Right.
But whether people like it or not, if this is indeed the result, एक बात साफ है कि एक स्लोगन हिट हो गया है, एक है तो सेफ है, वो हिट है. अब वो हिट क्यों है, क्या सही है, एथिकल क्या है, वो अलग डिस्कशन है. ठीक है, maybe the Batake to Gatake was a bit extreme, it was a bit aggressive, but somewhere some minds were put and said इसी को थोड़ा ऐसे safe way में play करते हैं, and एक है तो safe है.
They both actually mean the same. That if you are divided,
well, it's a little different. Yeah. It's a little one's more graphic. One is
if you are divided, then you will succumb and you will be defeated. See, if you are united, you will be safe. They mean the same, but you, like you said, one is more graphic, the other is more amenable. That's
also,
what.
You know, Anand, feeling of safety, you cannot deny that I need a feeling of safety.
Correct.
You know, if I tell you that you're going to be murdered, no, that's a bit too much. You may say, what are you talking about? I'll say, Anand, make sure you're safe in your home tonight.
Correct.
You'll say, thank you, yeah.
Okay, so that's more amenable.
That has worked. So, a couple of projects came out. I mean, I don't know how much impact it makes, but in Mumbai, some projects were
Chetan, please allow me to
say
hello to Shaina NC, candidate.
Hi, Shaina. She's smiling. She's smiling.
She's smiling, yeah. So let's ask her.
That is the best exit poll. China's smile is the most predictable, accurate exit poll out there.
It's just that I'm just saying Shaina NC, she's a good friend also. But should I say BJP? Should I say, Shiv Sena? Or should I say Mahayuti? What should we say, candidate for which party or which grouping, Shaina NC?
No, I think I am very, very clear that I am the candidate for the Mahayuti, which is the Shiv Sena and the BJP. And I'd like to thank the Honorable Chief Minister Eknath Shinde ji for believing in me and giving me this opportunity from the toughest seat in Maharashtra, which is Mumbai. And we have fought valiantly. And let me please say, for all those who talk about, just appeasement politics and raking people and trying to keep people at both banks. In Mumbai, we have 140,000 Muslims and 1 lakh Hindus. And despite that, despite the topography, despite the caste community breakup, we are going to win. And this is going to be a historic victory for Maharashtra, where the Mahayuti will prove that sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka prayas, sabka vishwas. And the biggest hit has been Ladki Behna Yojana. And when you had Mr. Shinde come in as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, he empowered 2.5 crore women with giving them 7,500 rupees so they can start their own entrepreneurial venture from home or educate themselves or skill development. And it benefited us tremendously because,
but there are pollsters, Shaina ji, there are pollsters, Shaina ji, who are not giving the mandate to the Mahayuti. They are giving the Mahavikas Aghadi the mandate. There are at least 3 pollsters who are giving the Mahavikas Aghadi the mandate. So there also it's dead heat.
Right. In the recent past, just go back to Haryana elections and you will know how they have been wrong.
On that point,
go back to
Shaina NC, on that point, we're also now joined by Pradeep Gupta. Now, he's interesting because Pradeep Gupta has come out with a poll which goes the other way on Jharkhand, significantly other way. So, Mr. Gupta, can you tell us how is it that you are running against the grain?
Well, as I always say, that we go to each and every assembly constituency of the state and we try and understand the mood of the people, whom they are likely to vote, whom they have voted for, and why they have voted for, the most important point. And 3-4 highlights I would like to put forward as far as the Jharkhand goes. First and foremost is there is a clear pro-incumbency in favor of Hemant Soren state government. That's one. Two, same the way Maharashtra is having, the Madhya Pradesh was having Ladli Behna Yojana. There is a Maiya Samman Yojana. By the virtue of that, women in the age group of 18 to 50 years, they get 1,000 rupees every month, and state government has also promised it to increase it by 2,500. Of course, the NDA alliance has also promised the similar in the similar lines. Second is the free electricity, and the most important, this is the state where the Adivasi, the ST population is as high as 25%. And Muslim population 15%, 1/5.
So you believe Jharkhand
Actually,
will
Mr. Bhandari
go to Jharkhand
Mr.
will
Bhandari wants to come in on
Jharkhand.
this.
You believe Jharkhand will go to. But what's your projection for Maharashtra? We have Deepak Kesarkar also and Shaina NC also with us. So what's your projection for Maharashtra? We got Mr. Supariwala also with us. So let's ask you, Pradeep ji, what's your projection for Maharashtra? Mahayuti or Mahavikas Aghadi?
I think for Maharashtra, particularly Access My India, we have decided to hold on to it for today at least. We need more time to study it. And in fact, we are known for post-poll study. And Maharashtra being a single-phase poll in all 288 assembly constituency, we thought let's study further and come with the poll tomorrow.
Okay, so let's ask Deepak Kesarkar ji. Deepak ji, namaste. There is a lot that's happened in the last 1.5 years in Maharashtra, and there's a lot that's happened in the last 4 or 5 months. What do you believe is going to happen?
We are coming back into power. In fact, last election also, we had come back into power as UT. But unfortunately, the decision taken by Uddhav Thackeray was to join the Congress and NCP. And that's why we could not come into power. But simultaneously, it happened, which was public mandate.
So this time you believe that the Lok Sabha trends were different. Do you believe what's changed in the last 4 or 5 months between June 24 to now? Why are you so confident about the Mahayuti?
First is that wrong perception that were created during Lok Sabha. We are very cautious about it this time. Second thing is the welfare measures that we have taken and welfare schemes that we have introduced have made a lot of difference. Again, we had a connect with the people. A lot of various programs were arranged. The CM, DCM, they went to all corners of Maharashtra to introduce these schemes and take this scheme to the common people. And that is a success story.
But Mumbai, 36 seats. Last time in the Lok Sabha, Mumbai, the Mahayuti did not fare very well. And also in Vidarbha, Marathwada, 2 big pockets where the Mahayuti suffered losses. Do you believe you'll be able to claw back? We had Shaina NC, Milind Deora, all have contested from Mumbai. So there's a lot at stake for Eknath Shinde ji also there.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to mention here is that the population which supports Congress is limited to certain constituencies. So remaining constituencies will do very well. That I'm very much confident. And Lok Sabha election, even the concentration of votes in one constituency, in fact, it affects the entire Lok Sabha constituency. Like if you are winning in 4 or 5 constituencies, one constituency takes you back in such a big number that you finally end up losing that constituency. And that has been proved everywhere in Maharashtra. We are winning in so many constituencies, but 1 or 2 constituencies where there were concentration of people who were voting in favor of Congress, not Shiv Sena, because those are Congress voters right from the beginning. And they are now, they used to vote for various parties. Now it's concentration of votes or polarization of votes.
The Ghadi was not matching well with Dhanush Ban and the Kamal. This was a conversation that was happening during Lok Sabha. Does that still remain on ground, or perhaps are things better? The ideological alliance versus the political alliance?
Whatever you're saying may be true, But our original UT was only between Shiv Sena and BJP. Ajit Pawarji joined afterwards, after he realized that we are doing a lot of good work, and he wanted to join, and that is how it became Mahayuti instead of UT.
So you believe that?
Yeah, but it was very difficult for people to digest it. That is what I feel, because I used to tell about the alliance in Maharashtra from Assam. At that time, I used to mention that how NCP has treated Shiv Sena MLAs. And we didn't have any reply when he joined. And to a certain extent, yes, it was a little difficult to defend ourselves.
So how has that changed now? Has that changed now, or does that still remain? And will that hurt the Mahayuti?
No, I don't think. Now it is changed because the MLAs, those who are supporting Ajit Dada, are very strong in their constituencies. So there is not any chance of them losing their constituencies. It matters here how many MLAs win, that matters. So Ajit Dada will still be quite powerful in Maharashtra. That is what I feel.
Okay, Deepak Kesarjagar ji, thank you very much for your time and for joining us here on the coverage. We look forward to speaking with you on 23rd. Back to the conversation, we have voices from not just from the UBT, but also leaning towards the Congress party. We'll go across to them. Dr. Balaja with us. But first, Rahul Shivshankar had a point to make on Jharkhand and the projections.
You can. It's going very well. Roll the flow.
Sir, the Congress party, where do you think? Chetan Bhagat says exit polls, we'll see how it happens. Where do you think the Congress party would say, Dr. Balchandra Mungekar ji?
Yes, I think that whatever happened in Haryana is exactly going to happen, because whatever projections given by the exit polls, I don't think they will be meaningless, and they will be meaningful, and they will be very much relevant. Ground reality is totally different, and people in Maharashtra have already made their mind to vote Mahavikas Aghadi in a big way. But taking into further account the way the government has functioned during last 2.5 years, Shinde and Fadnavis government is absolutely unaccountable to the people. Survival of Maharashtra is at the stake.
Would you agree, Dr. Balchandra Mungekar, that the straight fights, like Rahul has been mentioning, Zaka has been putting out in Vidarbha and in Marathwada between the Congress and the BJP, 75 seats, that will be the deciding factor. If the Congress does not return at least 50% of these seats, the Mahavikas Aghadi will not win this election.
Congress certainly would get more than 50% seats in both the regions, that Vidarbha and Marathwada. For the simple reason, farmers are unhappy. There is violence and there is no law and order. There is no law and order. Education and social sectors such as health, they are absolutely in shambles. And most importantly, people have got the perception in mind that whatever is happening to Mumbai is totally marginalized and diluted. It's important. The financial sector, services center has been shifted from Mumbai to Maharashtra. That's why Mumbai to Ahmedabad. That's why the perception
okay, thank you very much, Mungekar Saab. I want to go back to Pradeep Gupta, and I have two questions for you, Mr. Gupta. One, there are 6 polls that have come out in Jharkhand. 5 of them are saying the BJP alliance will win, or at least is leading, is in a comfortable position. Yours is the outlier poll. What did you see which others did not see? Secondly, I know you've not given out the numbers for Maharashtra. You'll probably give it out tomorrow. But at least can you share if there were any big broad trends, any big issues or slogans or whatever it is that you saw on the ground which was resonating more than other issues on the ground in Maharashtra? Maybe you can start with the second question because we are on Maharashtra, and then we'll come to Jharkhand after that.
So, Jacob, as far as Maharashtra go, all I can say at this juncture is I'm feeling very sorry to say that I have no trend or whatsoever at this point of time to comment with, because that's the precisely reason why we need one more day for any kind of conclusive with the conviction kind of a number or the trend. Had I had the numbers or the trends with me, which is clear enough at this point of time, we would have posted our prediction as well.
And in Jharkhand, what did you see which the others have not seen? Because you're the only poll that is saying that JMM Alliance will win.
So Jharkhand, key highlighting point is, of course, the pro-incumbency is there, and this is the Jharkhand is the pure Adivasi state with the population, Adivasi population as high as 25%, and 15% Muslims, and there is a Asmita, Adivasi Asmita issues also there. In NDA, we all know that when in the last government, when Mr. Das was non-Adivasi made the chief minister, so that is one thing which is riding. The second thing is that again the very popular scheme of Mukhyamantri Maiya Samman Yojana, by the virtue of that, women are getting 1,000 rupees into their account every month. And third thing is, and the most important thing from a BJP's point of view, there is an emergence of new party, JLKM, led by Tiger Jairam Mehto, which is getting 8% vote share in our poll. 8%, and bulk of them, 90% of their vote is coming from OBC's Mehto community, which is the base of BJP traditionally. And that is where they are denting the prospect of BJP. So these are the 3-4 key highlights which suggest there is a clear-cut, simple majority for sure.
Pradeep Bhandari, of course, has a different take on that. Pradeep Bhandari, again, I just come back to that point. When Hemant Soren was arrested, he made this point that, look, at that time, the only tribal chief minister of India was put in jail. He claims it was, false case. You kept him in jail for false reasons. And he made this whole election singularly on tribal pride. That's what Pradeep Gupta is also saying. But you disagree, Mr. Bhandari.
Zaka, I would respectfully disagree with Pradeep Gupta ji. I respect his analysis, but here is my take on it. Please understand one point. Last time in Kolhan, out of 14 seats, we got 0 seats. So we believe that we will be doing significantly well in Kolhan. Last time in Santhal Pargana, we were not even in 50% of the seats. And in Santhal Pargana, the Gusbaitia in particular, the Muslims which he was speaking about, taking away the tribal land, is a huge issue. So there is a counter consolidation on the ground against the Muslims. So the Muslim Dalit, Muslim Adivasi vote is not adding up across Jharkhand, is what I see. Point number 3, there is a 40 to 50% OBC population. Even in the part of Raghuvar Das, when he was speaking about, we had a vote share of more than 30%. So in 2014 and 2019, both these elections, the JMM did not get a vote share of more than 21%. Its seat density was more because it could sweep tribal areas, in particular Kolhan. This time we are definitely getting it. We are opening our account in Kolar and might be reaching seats which are 50%. I don't see an OBC split happening to such a big extent, which will impact us so drastically that we do not cross the majority mark. So if you ask my analysis, I am seeing us with a more than 30% vote share as BJP, and the alliance touching or crossing 40. I don't see an India alliance government as he's projecting.
Okay, let's bring it back to Maharashtra, because obviously, Maharashtra is the biggest state. It's the richest state. It's the second biggest state after Uttar Pradesh in terms of Lok Sabha MPs. And Chetan, a large part of your professional life you've spent in Mumbai, and you've seen, the politics of the city, the politics of the state over the last 5 years. Despite all the brouhaha and the Twitter outrage that we've seen over the last 5 years, why aren't we seeing people turning out in numbers? Kolaba had 41% voter turnout last time we checked.
Well, this is South Bombay for you. They watch Netflix and they, they are just too, it's sad, honestly. That's a separate discussion altogether. And that's just the way things are. And you're talking of the politics there, Zaka, I just want to add, Shiv Sena has been in an identity crisis since a long time. Like a Samajwadi party in UP is not the equivalent, where clearly Samajwadi party represents a certain caste, they are there for the OBCs, etc., etc. Shiv Sena was the first, you can say, nationalist kind of party, hyper-nationalism, patriotism. Bala Sahib was a very big Hindutva supporter. Ever since Modi's rise in India and the brand came and BJP's rise came, Shiv Sena, what is Shiv Sena doing different than the BJP? What can Shiv Sena do that, PM Modi cannot do in terms of meeting the Hindutva agenda and meeting the nationalism agenda? That has been the case throughout. That is why I think Shiv Sena wanted their own CM in the previous election, even though they got less seats than the BJP, even though they had contested with the BJP. And now, I don't know, now it's split into two. It is like the amoeba has split up, or whether they were made to split up or whatever. I mean, at least the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena, what is it all about? It's not very clear. I think people have some sympathy that his party was taken away. He has some legacy from his dad. He maybe also has done some good work. He's a politician by itself. But in terms of ideology, it's not very clear. And I think BJP, after the Lok Sabha election, they really pulled up their socks in Haryana. They got a good victory. They got the momentum. They got the motivation. And I think they've done what it takes, whether it's Ladli Behna, they've done, whether it's certain slogans, Ek Hai To Sita, they've reclaimed the territory, and they're making the OG Shiv Sena more and more redundant over time. They may even, I don't even know what the other Shiv Sena that they have will do over time. That's a separate, again, discussion. But I think they're kind of back, and it's not the same situation as Samajwadi Party in UP, where it makes a formidable opposition, because there's a confusion of ideology here. What is Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray doing with Congress and NCP? Can someone actually, in simple terms, explain to me why are they together, other than for being in power?
At this point in time, many would say that they have no other option. They have no other option because they would also, as Eknath Shinde's party claims and the Shiv Sena claims, and they are the Shiv Sena because they have the symbol, the bow and arrow is with them. So the Shiv Sena at this point claims that the core voter of the Shiv Sena or the Shiv Senics actually sided with them even during Lok Sabha 2024. And they made a case in point as far as Mumbai is concerned. I have Dr. Raju Wagmare this time at this point. And after that, Rashid Kidwai and Pradeep Bhandari, and also Mr. Supariwala. Raju Wagmare ji, 51 seats, Zaka कह रहे हैं कि आपकी straight fights हैं between Shiv Sena and UBT. Will this decide कि सही में Shiv Sena कौन है?
Sir, I think we already decided, and the Maharashtra is also decided, that who is Asli Shiv Sena. And the Asli Shiv Sena, that you can say that Mr. Gentleman was saying about the OG, that Shiv Sena belongs to us. And we are not talking about just because we just sake of talking. If you see the numbers in Lok Sabha, we got a good strike rate of 47.5%. We got good voters numbers that you can see. And the voters that who vote us, they are pure Shiv Sena voting bank. And who vote the Uddhav Thackeray? Who vote the UBT? If you look into that, the UBT took the voting from Congress vote bank. They took the voting from Muslim community. They took the voting from that fake narrative was giving them a complete Muslim voting 110%. If you look into many, I can give you many examples that 98% voting has been gone to one particular community, to the Shiv Sena. So with that vote bank, and if you see the numbers, the Shiv Sena, that what we belongs to Mr. Eknath Shinde, that we got good numbers of voting. So Maharashtra has already decided we are the Shiv Sena who is taking ideology of...
Sajid Supariwala wants to counter. Yes, Sajid Supariwala of Ubata. Yeah, Ji.
Just have some shame. How can you call yourself an original Shiv Sena when you have taken the bow and arrow away from the great Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray? Then you have sold your souls to somebody who was not even wiping out the Shiv Sena from Maharashtra and taking the jobs away and giving it to Gujarat, the industries away and taking it to Gujarat. We have come on common minimum program with NCP as Sharad Pawar and the Congress. We want the justice for the Maharashtra state. We want the justice for the youth in Maharashtra. You are talking about ideologies. You have taken back Ajit Pawarji in your team, whom you had told the most corrupt person. You have taken Nawab Malik into your team. You are talking about ideologies. First, go and wash your face and come back from your sleep, and definitely we'll show you your place in Maharashtra.
We'll have time for this. No, once again, I want to move away from the rhetoric and focus on the analysis. Pradeep Gupta is there.
Yeah, so we are talking
one second.
only.
No, let's move away. Let's move away, please. Pradeep Gupta is there for one more answer before we take a break. I'll come to you, Rashid, right after that. Pradeep Gupta, again, I come back to, I showed this in the Magic Wall earlier in the morning. The straight fight, 75 seats between Congress and BJP, straight fights in Maharashtra, 51 seats between Sena UBT and Shinde Sena, and 38 seats between NCP Ajit Pawar and NCP Sharad Pawar. Do you think that this election in Maharashtra will be decided in these three sets of straight fights? Whichever of these parties wins the straight fights, they win the state.
Not exactly, because if you will find that in the hunt of getting maximum number of seats to contest, these parties I'll tell you the three classic example, which is in our neighbor in Mumbai, Panvel, Pen, and Aligarh. In these three seats, out of these three seats, UBT has placed one candidate, though there is already India Alliance candidate is already there. So as far as these numbers goes, there are so many places where these numbers are given just for the sake of it is given. But as rightly you have mentioned, Marathwada and Vidarbha will decide where the wind is blowing.
Right.
That's one. Secondly, also when we come out with our poll tomorrow, we will have a better idea who is the real Shiv Sena, because we have asked at least 36,000 people this very question, and I am sure you will get this answer on the counting day as well. But tomorrow we will try and bring some more deep dive data and detailed data.
Pradeep ji, with due respect, I think the decision will be on the 23rd as the dust settles on the numbers as to who the real Shiv Sena will be, because that's 9.7 crore voters overall in Maharashtra, of which let's hope that at least 65% have turned out to come out and vote as we get the final numbers in. Pradeep Bhandari, coming to you after Rashid Kidwai. Ji.
I think Chetan made a lot of observations about Shiv Sena or lack of its character and face. Shiv Sena has always been led by doctrine of necessity. It started with that Vasant Sena, supporting Congress indirectly. They went after communists, and then after South Indians, and then of course Pakistan and Muslim bashing. All these things in between, they supported Indira Gandhi and emergency. Bala Saheb Thackeray supported emergency. In 1980, when Indira Gandhi returned, Bala Saheb supported Indira Gandhi. So this has been a very checkered thing. Shiv Sena, by no stretch of imagination, has been part of, so to say, Sangh Parivar or that Hindutva ideology as the RSS bandwagon. So this is also, we must remember.
No, but from 1992, since Babri Masjid, and 95 they formed their first government, till 2014, that's a good 20 years, Rashid.
Yeah. So even now they are supporting, a faction of it is supporting Nawab Malik. So that is what I'm saying. So there is a doctrine of necessity. Whatever helps them, they go along with that.
No, but in this case, the larger base question, you go back to the fact that the mandate in 2019 was given to a particular coalition, and who broke away from that coalition for their own particular reasons, or whatever be the reasons. Now, either is justified, but overall, that ideological spilling over happened in 2019. It's not happening in 2024, as many would say, but after that, it's all a khichdi and opportunism, like you said, that also stands there to bears itself out in Maharashtra. Pradeep Bhandari, Rohit Chandravarkar, and then Raju Bhagmare. Yeah.
Well, Anandji, just 2 points. I believe that why we are very, very confident in Maharashtra, and this is a data point which I want to throw, which could give it to a perspective to your analysts. Even in the 2024 elections, we were just 0.3% vote share less than the Maha Vikas Aghadi. So overall, if you look at it, we were just 2,03,192 votes less than that. Now, add to that Latki Behra, which we are sensing on the ground is working. Add to that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision, and add that the counter correction which we've done on particularly the fake news which the opposition tried to spread in the Lok Sabha elections, we believe it will be a very comfortable majority. And just 10 seconds, Maharashtra, if you look at it historically, since 2009, 14, 19, there have been roughly more than 70 seats in each of these elections where the contest has been close, where the margins have been less than 15,000. We believe our organic unity in 287 seats, bearing apart Nawab Malik seats, will help us in these close contests also. This is why we are very confident in Maharashtra.
Right. Rohitji, quickly, I have to take a break.
See, two things that I can see, takeaways I can call if these numbers hold that we have on the screen right now. One is something that Zaka mentioned in the morning, which is that independents and others don't really have it this time. Number is 8 if this goes, and that's a major thing. I mean, that's a major shift from what the initial expectation was. Second point is, I think Devendra Fadnavis has been hitting on the point that they lost the many Lok Sabha seats just by 0.5% or so. And his narrative was that we have to push the Hindutva line, basically to draw out the Sangha Karyakartas and the BJP Karyakartas, so that the booth management and the Panna Pramukhs and all come out, who did not come out because of Ajit Pawar and other factors during the Lok Sabha polls. So that seems to have worked. I think if these numbers hold, it's clear that it is...
It's a manifestation of all that work.
And the second part is, of course, the independents not.
Well,
making.
Aman sitting next to you had done a story here on News18.com and News18 that about 50,000 sabhas and meetings have been done by the RSS and they're out in full strength helping that. So if these numbers hold as per the exit pollsters, perhaps that's also giving us results. The exit poll numbers, poll of polls right now on your screens as we take a short break. 151 to the NDA in Maharashtra, comfortably forming government. 40 to the NDA in Jharkhand. So it's very, very close because 41 is the majority mark. Although the NDA believes they will touch 50. And this 40 is because one pollster is an outlier who's given the mandate to the INDI alliance there led by the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha in Jharkhand. We speak more and get you more on the other side. Stay with us.
Dadu. And I'm joined by a battery of reporters from Maharashtra who are in fact reporting on ground. Mayuresh is in fact reporting from Bandra East, tracking the Thackeray family. Payal is in fact reporting from Central Nagpur, tracking RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat. Yesha from Thane, tracking Eknath Shinde. And Pallavi from Baramati, tracking Sharad Pawar. Now let me go first across to Payal, who is in fact reporting from Central Nagpur, tracking Mohan Bhagwat. Payal, tell us what time is Mohan Bhagwat supposed to arrive there, and also given the fact that in Haryana we have seen how RSS played a very crucial role. What are you observing when it comes to Maharashtra, the role of RSS in the Maharashtra elections?
Well, to begin with, Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief, is already in the polling booth. He should be out within the next couple of minutes after having cast his vote. Remember, he came here at least 10 minutes before the voting really began, because, this is where the RSS headquarters really is. And this is a very, very important center as far as the BJP is really concerned, because, both, whether it's Devendra Fadnavis or whether it's Nitin Gadkari, both son of the soil, or their allegiance to the RSS, and of course have been part of the RSS from their very, very childhood as well. So the RSS contribution is extremely important as far as the BJP is really concerned. The Jan Sangh is, what they date back to. And we've seen what they were able to do, in Haryana. So even if sources are to be believed over here in Maharashtra, they're working overtime. Their basic agenda, Sharon, is to in fact encourage people to go out and vote. That last ditch effort campaigning has shut about 24 to 48 hours ago, but the last bit of effort to in fact take people, to the polling booth, that's exactly what the RSS specializes in. And, the workers have been working overtime. I'm given to understand that they're working in not just the constituency of the BJP is very strong, but also the constituencies where the Mahayuti is in fact, contesting as well. So that's something which is going to be important to see. We'll see Mohan Bhagwat stepping out in a bit from now, and he'll probably be giving us a soundbite as well. But a very, very crucial election as far as Vidarbha on the whole is really concerned, given the fact that Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis is contesting from Nagpur south-west seat as well. So that's something which is going to be very important to watch out for. We're just keeping our cameras waiting for Mr. Mohan Bhagwat to step out, and he's of course accompanied by the other RSS office bearers as well. Any moment from now, Sharon, he should be out, and it'll be important to see what his message really to the people of the country is, people of Maharashtra is concerned. And let's just see what message he gives to people of Maharashtra in terms of their importance to cast this particular vote, and whether he makes any other statement as well. That remains to be seen.
Absolutely, Payal. In fact, please stay with us. We'll keep coming back to you as and when Mohan Bhagwat will cast his vote and will come out. Let me now directly go across to Pallavi, who is in fact reporting from Baramati.
It'll be decisive. There won't be votes for others. It'll be this way or that way.
Even though there are 6 parties instead of 4, the choice before the voter is one of 2. Right. It's quite a binary choice. So it has to be either MVA or has to be Mahayuti.
I think we've got Pankaja Munde with us. Pankaja ji, namaste. The overall voter turnout is settling in. What's the situation on ground? What's your understanding?
Frankly, I've been traveling all over the state. I've been campaigning for a lot of assemblies. For me, I'm very, very sure the response we got while campaigning also, we are very sure that we will win with proper margin. We will get... can you hear me? Because
yes, I can. Yeah, I know you're on the move, but we can hear you. We can hear you. No, compared to June, April, May, June, and abhi November. Kya fark pada hai? Is there a change in the situation on ground, and how has it changed? Because I know you got very emotional with what happened in your own constituency with the results at that time, and I was following it very carefully. But is there a shift? Is there a change in the mood on ground? And how?
Yeah, of course there is a change in the mood on the ground because I got emotional not because of the election results. I got emotional because of the suicides happened after my election result was declared. So I was very worried about the reaction from people. Then they were very disheartened. But now what I am seeing here, the fake narrative created in the parliamentary election is totally minimized. Like there is no basically presence of fake narrative. So people are understanding this kind of campaigning is done to gain votes, and they are now focusing on the development issues and what the schemes we have as a government from Maharashtra government and central government, we have delivered. So we only totally focused on that. And we are getting very, very good response.
Just getting our thoughts on the two exit pollsters who have come in so far, PMark and Matriz. Both PMark is giving about 137 to 157 to the Mahayuti. Matriz is given... It's the battle for the states. Polling has commenced and polling is over. Single phase in Maharashtra, two phases in Jharkhand, 288 assembly seats in Maharashtra, 81 overall in Jharkhand, 38 went to the ballot on the 20th of November in phase 2. As the dust settles, the exit pollsters are out. We bring you the mega poll of polls. I'm Anand Narasimhan, with me Zaka Jacob and an array of guests. But most importantly, before we get him on the magic wall, let's get you what the situation is so far. What are the pollsters saying? Who are they giving the edge? Whether they get it right or not, have they read the mind of the voter properly? We will get to know on the 23rd. But as of now, the exit pollsters are saying PMark says the mandate is with the NDA. Matriz says the mandate is with the NDA. Chanakya Strategy says the mandate is with the NDA. People's Pulse says the mandate is with the NDA. Bhaskar says the mandate is with the INDIA. And then at the bottom of it all, you have the Lok Shahi Marathi, which says, ye phasega election. Phasega election is what they're saying. Halfway mark is 148. And the NDA has the edge in most of it, but there are one or two outliers. And Access My India says they will release their numbers a day later. That is on the 21st. So we will add that later on. But what's the Maharashtra poll of polls? The Maharashtra poll of polls, even at the bottom of your screen, says it's majority for the Mahayuti or the NDA. 151 is the projection. INDI Alliance 129. 8 for the others. So the number of independents coming down drastically. Distula Hebar, Rohit Chandravarkar and Aman Sharma with us in the studio. We'll have our guests joining us remotely also. But Zaka Jacob, this is a big, big shift. I'll come to you on Maharashtra after we quickly get our viewers what happened in Jharkhand, what the pollsters are saying with respect to Jharkhand. Let's quickly look at Jharkhand. 41 is the halfway number. Matriz says NDA. JVC says NDA. People's Pulse says NDA. Access My India swings it the other way altogether and says 53 for the INDI Alliance. Hemant Soren-led Jharkhand Mukti Morcha Congress Alliance there is coming back to power along with the RJD is coming back to power with big numbers. That's the projection Access My India has made. It's an outlier in its own sense. So the mega poll of polls brings it very close, makes it a dead heat because of the Access My India numbers. Otherwise, the NDA confident Babulal Marandi, while speaking with us here at News 18, said 51 plus for the NDA. So the BJP plus the Ajsu coming in, will that make a difference? We'll have to wait and watch. Let's swing back to Maharashtra. We'll talk Jharkhand in a bit. Maharashtra is critical. The voter turnout numbers, Zaka Jacob, if the voter turnout are an indication, are you confident the mandate will be clear?
Yeah.
Lok Shahi Marathi is an outlier?
No, I think that's at least, the conventional wisdom of higher voter turnout, anti-incumbency, that's been broken. That myth has been broken because just Haryana had almost close to 70%. In fact, it was more than 70% voter turnout, and yet it was pro-incumbency. But one thing is very clear that whenever there is a larger proportion of people who turn out to vote, then you have a decisive mandate. You won't get a hung assembly. And I think despite the fact that there are 6 parties this time as opposed to 4 last time, the choice is really binary. It's either Mahavikas Aghadi or it is Mahayuti. And I go back to, the Lok Sabha and what the difference was between the Lok Sabha and now. If you convert the Lok Sabha results into assembly, it was much closer than what the Lok Sabha results would suggest. So look at the BJP 2024 leads, the Shinde Sena 2024 leads, and the NCP Ajit Pawar 2024 leads. It actually comes up to 124, right? That's not too far off from the majority mark, which is 144. Remember, that's about 20 seats short of 144. But in the Lok Sabha, in terms of sheer seats, it was 31 for the MVA and 17 for the Mahayuti. So almost twice the number there. Again, you go back and check the Congress leads. There you have the Congress leads, you have the Sena UBT leads, and you have the NCP Sharad Pawar leads. It's just 154. And that's just 9 seats above the majority mark of 145. So really, all that the BJP, the Mahayuti needed to do was to turn 1%, that the differential that was between the Mahayuti and the Mahavikas Aghadi, 1% in the Lok Sabha, turn that 1% on its head. If they clawed back 2%, this whole thing would completely flip. And that is what we are seeing now, at least in the poll of polls number, that 2% clawback that they were able to do from the Lok Sabha to now, that seems to have worked. Other than one poll, I think out of the 6 or 7 polls that Anand just showed, one poll was showing that Mahavikas Aghadi has the edge. 6 polls were showing the other way around. Generally, and Aman, you can weigh in on this. Again, I keep going back to Haryana because Haryana had a completely different picture. But generally, the thumb rule is the direction seems to be in one way.
Well, before you start speaking, I have to interrupt because somebody who's all-important fulcrum of Maharashtra politics has spoken. So let's listen to what he has to say.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जब जब वोटिंग परसेंटेज बढ़ता है तो बीजेपी को ही उसका फायदा होता है। तो मैं ऐसा मानता हूं कि निश्चित रूप से ये जो बढ़ा हुआ वोटिंग परसेंटेज है, ये बीजेपी और हमारे अलायंस के लिए, महायुति के लिए ये फायदा हमको देगा और इसका फायदा हमको होगा। जेव्हा जेव्हा मतदानाची टक्केवारी वाढते त्यावेळी भाजपला फायदा होतो असं आपण नेहमीच बघितलेलं आहे। आताही चांगल्या प्रकारे वाढलेली आहे, त्यामुळे आमची जी महायुती आहे, महायुतीला याचा फायदा होईल।
Mahayuti will gain. Mumbai is about 54%. Rahul Shivshankar with us. Aman Sharma, Rahul Shivshankar, Rohit Chandrawalkar. All of you. Now, the man has spoken. Now, what do you think? Take it away.
See, Anand, I think, as Zaka correctly put it, there was just a 0.4% vote difference between both the alliances when it came to the Lok Sabha elections. This projection which is coming, I think, almost matches with what is BJP's analysis of this election. BJP feels, number one, it will be the single largest party. It will be close to or either will hit the 3-figure mark. It will be either 100 plus or it will be very close to 100. BJP also feels that Shinde Sena will do very well. So will Sharad Pawar do well in the MVA. But they feel that Uddhav Thackeray is going to collapse in this election and the Congress strike rate is going to come down. So I think this analysis in a way ties up also with what the BJP's reading of this election is. Of course, we have to wait for 23rd to know exactly how it happens. But if this holds true, the BJP's campaign of consolidating the OBC vote would have worked. The BJP's campaign to also get a portion of the Dalit vote back in its favor, bust this Samvidhan Khatre Mein Hai campaign would have worked on the ground. So that I think is the BJP's reading. We'll wait for 23rd what happens. But that, and Jharkhand, for example, if I just add a line more, the Jharkhand campaign of the BJP also, if BJP wins, obviously their infiltration campaign has worked. Soren's sympathy is gone. Especially the Santhal Pargana region is the key. There are 18 seats there. Only the Axis poll is giving 15 out of the 18 seats to JMM. So that means if Axis is true, that this whole infiltration campaign has been blown to smithereens by the in the BJP camp. So BJP is very confident Santhal Pargana is going to make the government. If BJP wins it, the Pennsylvania of Jharkhand is Santhal Pargana and the Pennsylvania of Maharashtra is Vidarbha. So, which way these two regions swing will determine the election. But I'll hold on to 23rd for what it's going to be like.
Well, we'll hold on to this line of yours and we'll see what happens with the Pennsylvania of Jharkhand and Pennsylvania of Maharashtra. Rohit, Rohit Nisula is also with us. Yes.
Yeah, 2 questions I have, looking at this.